Guys, welcome to our first video of 2021. We did take a short break, but we will be posting regular videos henceforth, so stay tuned. Today I shall be showing you one of my own games. I played this game on a live stream and it's pretty instructive. I call it the perfect London system. Before I forget, I do live stream on Twitch very often. So if you have any questions or you want to have a direct conversation with me, do drop it in the chat and I will be happy to converse with you. The link is in the description below. See you there. So here I was playing the white pieces. It was one of the first few rapid games of mine, and I'm playing an opponent who is quite strong, rated about 2372 on leeches. And the game went d4, d5, bishop f4. I opted for the solid London system. Knight f6, e3, knight bd7. Both of us are just developing our pieces. Knight f3. And here my opponent chose to play the move a6. Here, I did anticipate that he may try something on the queen side because that is why a move like a6 is played. But I just went with regular development and I went with h3. Now, this is a very common move in the London system because you want to make a safe spot for the bishop in the future if it is ever attacked. Because this bishop is one of the most important pieces for white in this system. Going forward, he continued with c5. I played c3, e6, knight bd2, and here he went with b5. I again just continued development, played the move bishop d3. Here I was actually thinking whether I should go with a4 or bishop d3, and I just thought for a bit and I just decided to go with bishop d3 and just continue development because he's made too many pawn moves till now. So he went with h6, another pawn move. Now this does not look very good for black. So I went castling. My king's very safe now. And here he continued with the move c4. Again, a lot of players do this. So I played the move bishop c2, keeping this diagonal for my bishop because that's the best diagonal my bishop can have. And here my opponent played the move b4, which I feel is a bit premature. Basic opening rule: do not make too many pawn moves in the opening. I was quite happy seeing this move on the board. He should have continued with a regular development move instead. I think something like bishop b7 or bishop e7 would be good too. And he continued with b4. I played this move e4. Time to blast open the center. The simple reason is my king is safely castled here on g1, while the black king is dangerously uncastled in the center. So, time to open up the center. So, e4, he continued with d into e4. I continued knight into e4. And here he played bishop b7, just attacking the e4 knight. Here I had to choose between knight d6 and knight fd2. I thought for a bit and I chose to go with the bishop pair advantage. So I went with knight d6 check because he can't really move the king, because if he moves the king, this is a free piece plus he loses castling. So he went with bishop d6, pretty obvious. And here I played the move bishop into d6. And now you see why I chose this line. The black king is never reaching his castle unharmed. So after bishop into d6, I have a very strong bishop here. And he continued b into c3, b into c3. And here he played the move queen b6. I'm not really sure about this move because in the near future, I would always get rook b1 with a tempo. But it's very understandable because he really has nothing much to do here. So why not queen b6? He is attacking my bishop, hoping for my bishop to move back so then his king can safely castle. But am I going to allow it? Definitely not. I played the move bishop a3 and my bishop is never leaving this beautiful diagonal. So after bishop a3, he continued knight e5, attacking the pawn. But do I care? Of course not. I played the move rook b1, gaining a tempo. And here my opponent continued with queen a5, trying to have some active play on the board because he really does not have too much to do, which is definitely a mistake. Maybe he could try holding on to the position with queen c7. But again, white really does have a very good advantage, so it does not really save black from the misery. So I mean, I would just continue something like bishop e4, and after bishop c6, you have bishop d5. You can give up that, go rook e1. So this king is going to be in trouble anyway. Anyway, going back to the game, he went with queen a5. That's directly hitting on the a3 bishop as well as the c3 pawn. And here I actually had an option. I could go for rook into b7, give up my dark squared bishop, or I could go for bishop a4. So these were my two options, and I took a while. I did take my time calculating both the lines, and I chose to go for rook into b7. So yes, after queen into a3, I did give up my dark squared bishop, which is the most important piece in the London system. Plus, it was doing a great job stopping the black king from castling. But what did I get in return for this? What I got in return is the black king is doomed. So here I calculated and played the move bishop a4. As you see, the d7 knight is now pinned and is in big trouble. So here black continued with rook d8, defending the knight, of course. Again, when you have a pinned piece, you just continue putting pressure on that piece. So I continued knight e5, again threatening to win the free piece on d7. So he played knight f6. Though he is defending the piece, he will eventually lose it. And now it's time to crack open the egg. So here I went with d5. Again, still trying to open up the center because we should not forget that his king is still uncastled and in the center. So after d5, he has actually nothing much to do. He chose to play queen c3, but let's just see what happens if he did capture pawn into pawn. Then I would continue with knight into d7, knight into d7, bishop into d7, rook into d7, and now this rook comes in the center with a check. And he has to go king d8, and then I have rook b8, and I am winning the rook because of the skewer. So he did not go for this. Instead, he just went with queen into c3, but this does not really help him or save him from anything. So after queen c3, I continued knight into d7. And after knight into d7, d into e6. Now my queen is looking forward to putting more pressure on the knight and, of course, winning the knight. So here, again, he just castled and gave up the knight because it was just way too much for him. But let's just say he could try capturing. But again, this would not help because you see that there are three pieces that are attacking. So I can just capture bishop d7 and the piece is lost. So he chose to go castling. And here, I missed winning a whole rook with the move e7. I mean, that would have just been a fork. But regardless, I won the knight. And it was not too tough to win the game because I was up a piece and a beautiful pass pawn. So I won this game in a few moves. So as I said, this is a game to me that is the perfect London system. And I didn't really make any sort of inaccuracies, mistakes, blunders, or anything. I think I just played very simple chess and just took advantage of my opponent's mistakes, and that is really important. So if you want to learn the London system and you want to check out games of the best players, you should definitely check out my games. Just kidding. You can definitely check out games of Gata Kamsky, Boris Kashev, Magnus Carlsen, Vladimir Kramnik, and there are a lot more players who do play the London system very fluently. So this is it with this video. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.